All right, let's dive in. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Today, we're going deep into the world of small business. But we're not just talking like generic advice here. We've got something special.
Oh, yeah.
We're going deep with bigger bottom line. I've got a blog, consulting, and hold on to your hats.
Uh,
A whole series of ultimate guides on, well, pretty much everything entrepreneurship.
sounds intense.
It is. They've written over 20 of these books.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. So think of this as your cheat sheet to all that wisdom.
Love a good shortcut. So, who are these bigger bottom line gurus? Some big corporation?
Nope, not at all. It's actually a father-son team, Daniel and Matthew Rung.
A family business. That's cool. So, what kind of experience are we talking about here?
Combined, over 75 years in the business world.
Yeah,
75.
wow, that's a lot of years. Okay, so what did they do? What's their background?
Well, get this. Daniel's resume is, like, unbelievably diverse. Math and computer science. Check. Law and finance. Also check. Oh, and marketing, too.
Well,
Seriously.
Is there anything this guy can't do?
Right. He's been a controller, CFO, VP of finance,
Yeah.
handling millions of dollars, the whole shebang.
Okay, so he's the numbers guy, the legal eagle. What about the son?
Matthew. Oh, he's a tech whiz, building websites and software, like before he even finished college. Makes you wonder if he even needed that degree.
Right. Starting young.
Yeah.
That's impressive. So we've got the finance expert and the tech guru, a powerful combo.
And here's the kicker. They didn't just, talk about starting businesses. They actually did it.
Oh, so they've walked the walk?
Big time. Their list of ventures is insane. Printing companies, internet casinos. I mean, come on.
Printing to casinos, that's quite a range.
Right. And that's what makes their advice so valuable. They've been in the trenches, running businesses, facing challenges, figuring it all out.
Not just armchair entrepreneurs, then. They've got the battle scars to prove it.
Exactly. And their journey, let me tell you, it wasn't just a straight line to success. It's more like a roller coaster. They started selling used books on Amazon. Then it was CDs and DVDs. Then they moved to, get this, an Amazon returns business,
Wow. So they were constantly adapting, seeing where the market was going.
spotting those trends before anyone else. They even had a hand in Grokster. You remember that? The early file sharing platform?
Oh, yeah, I remember Grokster. So they weren't afraid of shaking things up a bit.
Exactly. Pushing boundaries, exploring new frontiers, and all those experiences, all those twists and turns, they all feed into their approach to business.
And that brings us to their book series, right? These ultimate guides.
Right. Now, we obviously can't dissect all 20 books,
Yeah.
but just to give our listeners a taste, what kind of topics do they cover? What's the scope of their advice?
Okay, so picture this. You're sitting down, fired up, ready to finally turn that business idea into, well, an actual business.
Love that energy.
And the rungs. They've got a guide for that. Every step. From like refining your idea to building a business plan to all the legal stuff you need to know.
Sounds pretty comprehensive.
Oh, it is. And then there's financing. They go deep on loans, securing loans, improving your business credit score, SBA loans.
Hold on. SBA loans. You just kind of threw that out there.
I did, didn't I?
Some of our listeners might not be like super familiar with those.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
Could you break it down for us? What are they? Why are they so important, especially for small businesses?
Okay, so SBA loans. Basically, it's the government backing you up. They want to help small businesses get funding. Makes it easier to get a loan, especially if you're just starting out. Maybe your credit history isn't perfect.
I see. So it's kind of like a safety net for those who can't get a regular loan from a bank.
Exactly. And trust me, it's a game changer for a lot of entrepreneurs. Gives them a fighting chance.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So what else do they cover when it comes to like the money side of things?
They don't hold back. They've got like a whole arsenal of financing options, equipment financing, commercial real estate loans, lines of credit. They even talk about revenue-based finance. And
Revenue-based, what's that?
it's pretty cool, actually. Instead of fixed payments, you pay back a percentage of your revenue. So if business is booming, you pay back more. If things are slow, you pay back less.
Oh, I like that. Kind of takes the pressure off a bit.
Exactly. They've really thought of everything, every scenario a business owner might face when it comes to, getting the money they need.
But it's not just about starting and funding a business, right? They go deeper.
Way deeper. They get into like the nitty-gritty of running a successful business. Marketing, sales, managing your finances. There's even a whole guide on selling on eBay.
eBay. Interesting. A lot of people are going online these days.
Exactly. And they walk you through everything, step by step. How to set up your shop, list your products, deal with customers. It's like a roadmap to eBay success.
Sounds like there's something in there for everyone, from newbies to, seasoned pros. But what about franchises? Any advice for folks interested in buying a franchise?
They've got you covered there, too. A whole guide dedicated to franchises. They break down those franchise disclosure documents, those FDDs. Super important to understand all the fine print before you sign anything.
Yeah, wouldn't want to rush into that blindly.
Exactly. And they talk about financing options specifically for franchises, because it can be different from getting a regular business loan.
Wow. They really have thought of everything. It's like having a business mentor, like right there in your pocket.
And it's not just theory, they actually share their own stories, their own mistakes. Like when they first started selling books on Amazon, they were pricing their inventory way too low.
Really, the experts messed up.
It happens. They were undervaluing their products, lost a lot of potential profit. Once they figured it out, they adjusted their pricing strategy, and boom, things started looking up.
See, that's the kind of stuff you don't get from a textbook. The real world behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly. They're not afraid to be honest, to show their vulnerability, which makes their advice even more powerful, in my opinion.
Makes them human, relatable. You realize that everyone starts somewhere, even those who seem like, overnight successes.
Totally. And it's those challenges, those mistakes, that often lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
So out of all their advice, what's the one thing that really stuck with you? Like, what's the nugget of wisdom you'd share with our listeners?
For me, it's this. Never stop learning. They're big on adaptation, on keeping up with the times.
Makes sense. The business world is like constantly changing.
Exactly. If you're not learning, if you're not evolving, you're going to get left behind. Like, remember when they shifted from books to CDs and DVDs? They had to completely rethink their marketing strategy.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, what worked for used books didn't necessarily translate to CDs and DVDs. Different audience, different product, different approach needed.
Makes sense. You can't just like copy and paste a strategy and expect it to work in every situation.
Exactly. They had to experiment, try new things, find what worked for their new target market.
Which is a great lesson for anyone running a business. What works today might not work tomorrow.
Got to be flexible.
Absolutely. And the Rungs, they're living proof that continuous learning is the key to long-term success. It's like they're saying, never stop growing, never stop exploring.
It's inspiring, isn't it? Their whole journey. Yeah, it really is. Their story really drives home this point. It's not just about having a great idea. To succeed in small business, you really got to understand the mechanics of it all, the nuts and bolts.
The inner workings,
Yeah.
Absolutely. You need to know how to manage your finances, how to get funding, how to navigate the legal maze, and, of course, how to keep up with the constant changes in the market.
Right. And what's fascinating is how the Rungs, they use their past experiences, even the ones that seem totally random, to their advantage. Like, think about Daniel's law background.
Oh, yeah, that must have been super helpful when they were, dealing with contracts or figuring out all the legal stuff with Grokster. Exactly. And Matthew, building websites way back when,
Yeah.
that probably gave them a head start when they went online with their businesses. It's like they've woven all these different threads together, created this really well-rounded approach to being an entrepreneur.
And the best part is they've share all that knowledge, put it all in these easy to understand guides so anyone can learn from their experiences.
So anyone listening who's maybe a little intimidated by the whole starting a business thing,
Yeah.
the Rungs are proof that you don't need to have it all figured out from day one.
Yeah. You just have to be willing to learn, to adapt, to use what you already know and keep building on that.
And who knows, maybe someone listening right now, they've got that $1 million idea, and this is the push they need to finally go for it.
It could be anyone, really. That's the amazing thing about entrepreneurship. It's open to everyone. If you have the passion, the drive, the willingness to make your vision happen.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There's so much support out there. Mentors, online communities, and of course, all those ultimate guides we've been talking about.
Exactly. So if this deep dive has sparked something in you, if there's a project you've been putting off, now's the time. Do your research, learn everything you can, and then take that leap.
Action. That's what it all comes down to, right? Turning those ideas into something real.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Bigger Bottom Line, let's leave our listeners with this. The world of small business is full of possibilities. It's out there, waiting for you. Don't be afraid to take that first step, to learn, to grow, to turn your dreams into reality. And hey, if a father-son duo can go from printing to internet casinos and make it big, why not you? That's it for this deep dive. Until next time, Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing those boundaries.